station, this is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, we're ready for the event.
ISS program, please call the station for a voice check.
ISS, Nicole and the rest of the Unity spacesuit gang here, comm check.
Nicole, great to hear from you. We got you loud and clear. How about us?
Got you loud and clear, and we are so excited to see you all together on the ISS with that stunning art spacesuit. Ginormous thanks to all of you for joining us for this global event today. And we have a lot of folks here in the Mission Control Center as well, some of our children from the hospitals here, some astronauts and cosmonauts you'll recognize. And also I wanted to point out a few very special supporters. We have Ian Sion, who is the artistic genius behind these suits. We have Gary Chilson from ILC Dover, who worked his spacesuit magic, I will say, along with the ILC team to create these wonderful pieces of art spacesuits. Kevin Long from MD Anderson. MD Anderson was there with us right from the beginning. Dr. Carlos Cardenas, who is the president of the Texas Medical Association. We are taking this wider and broader across the planet. Thank you for being here. We want to thank the Center Director's Office for supporting us. And I want to pass on a very special thanks to the ISS Program Office. We have Kenny Todd and Dylan Mathis down here with us. And we know that we would not be seeing you guys up there with this suit today without their very strong support of the project every step of the way. And it's global, baby. We have standing room only here in the visitors gallery, a whole host of our friends with suit parties going on around the world at hospitals, our control centers, and the Cosmonautics Museum in Moscow. So we see you there in the suit. Can you tell us, Two Fish, what you thought when you saw those beautiful colors pop out of the cargo bag, and how did donning that suit feel?
Well, it's great question, Nicole, and just a quick thank you, big space thank you to everyone who is supporting this program, especially to Nicole who put it together. But as the father of my own little cancer ninja who's probably there today, thank you for making it happen. As far as the suit, you know, it's tricky to get into, but it's worth it. Kind of like the real suit. The real suit, you have the reward of getting to go outside and see an amazing view and do all sorts of fun work outside. This suit, you have the reward of the opportunity, or rather the honor, to represent the bravest kids in the world who actually put it together. And, you know, it makes a nice fashion statement, a little nod to my eclectic style, so I love it. Hey, speaking of which, last year was Art Expedition 1, Nicole, so tell us how this suit came to be.
Well, thanks for those comments on the suit, and you look marvelous. This suit, Unity, is the third in a series of suits. Hope was the first suit, Courage was the second suit, and Unity is very special because it was modeled after our peaceful, our successful partnership on the International Space Station program. Ian and I had the opportunity to travel around the world to our ISS partner headquarters cities and paint with children in the hospitals there, with our astronaut and cosmonaut friends. Fyodor was with us, and Yuri Gudzenko in Moscow. We had Luca Parmitano and Frank Davina in Cologne. We had Aki and Satoshi with us in Japan, and Jeremy and Dave Williams in Canada. And just amazing. We brought that artwork back to the US, and Gary and the ILC Dover team quilted it together to this beautiful suit we have here today, and we have gone global. And I just want to, this is part of what we do on station is improving life here on Earth. Unity came up on SpaceX 12. We're very thankful to our SpaceX 12 partners for that. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the science that you guys will be working on thanks to that cargo transfer.
Well, we actually are very excited about the different research that's going on. Some of my favorite things involve the cell culture studies, We're looking at cardiac myocytes, which are the muscle cells in your heart, and
cancer-seeking missiles.
and probably one, as Jack mentioned, one of my favorite experiments has actually been looking at lung cancer cells, and we are trying a new method that the scientists on the ground developed and testing it out up here, where the antibodies that recognize the cancer cells have a drug attached to them, and they go out and try and specifically kill just the cancer cells, which would be helpful in chemotherapies on the ground as well. But because Jack's a fighter pilot, he named them cancer-seeking missiles, which I thought was really kind of cool name.
Thanks, Peggy. And you know, we love it because we know that everything that's going on off the Earth up there is helping us down here on the Earth. It's for the Earth. So thanks for that. We had a chance to see some of the video that you guys put together. We were playing it here, and it really has inspired some questions from the children in the hospitals around the world that helped us paint Unity. We have some of your fellow astronauts here to ask those questions on behalf of the children. And we are going to start with Aki Hoshida.
Hey guys, great to see you up there. This is Aki Hoshida with JAXA. Our first question is for Randy, and it's on behalf of the children at St. Luke's International University Hospital and the Juntendo Hospital in Tokyo. So Randy, how does living in space change your perspective on life?
Well, a previous astronaut very appropriately said that, the first day that you're in space, you're looking for your hometown. And maybe the second day you're looking for your home state or your home area. And then by the third day, maybe your home country. And by the fourth day, you're no longer looking at any of that. You're a member of the human race looking down at spaceship Earth, our home planet, as a member of the billions of us that inhabit the planet. And you can't come away changed looking at this beautiful blue marble. You're going around every 90 minutes, seeing, the beauty of it, as well as realizing that every experience you've ever had and every experience, of every human that's been in every existence is down on that beautiful blue marble underneath you. And you really come away, it's very humbling, it's very beautiful, and we work very hard to try and, convey that with everyone. But bigger than that perspective was perspective for me the day that I found out my mother had cancer. And watching her battle cancer for 10 years, knowing the courage that it takes, all the little cancer fighters that are out there that are part of this project, it's just amazing. Every kid that painted on this suit and every kid that they represent are real heroes. And also the courage that it takes for the families. Know that our hearts and prayers are with you, knowing that you're taking care of your little ones as they go through this. And as excited as we are about seeing human beings make history by stepping on another planet, all of us would much rather see us make cancer history before that happens.
Randy, those are just amazing words. You did a terrific job of conveying your perspective from space and how it applies to our fight here on the planet. And this is Jeremy Hansen speaking now with the Canadian Space Agency. And I get the honor of asking a question on behalf of the children in Canada at South Lake Regional Health Center in Toronto and the Montreal Children's Hospital. And Two Fish, Loic has a question for you. Loic's a young boy who helped us paint the Unity flight suit last year in Montreal. And his question is, what effect does no gravity have on astronauts? And do you get disorientated? Now tell us the truth.
Well, first off, that's a cool name, Loic. That is awesome. And yes, you get a little disoriented. But the beautiful part of the human brain is that it adapts pretty darn quickly. So we actually start thinking in 3 dimensions and are able to orient ourselves a lot better as we go along. There's some effects on muscles and bones, but we've found ways to combat that. So the biggest thing is just flying around and not running into stuff too often, and you get better as you go. So I'm still a work in progress, as Peggy will attest to, but it's not so bad.
Thanks, Two Fish. You guys look great up there. This is Andy from ESA, the European Space Agency, and I have a question for Paolo from all the children at the Cologne University Hospital International Cancer Center, and they would like to know what is the challenge of working and living in zero gravity, and how does it feel?
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for the question. It's really interesting because, of course, there are a lot of challenges here. I am an engineer, and I'm exposed here doing things that are not part of my background. We get trained, we get all the help possible, but still it's a little bit challenging sometimes when you don't fully understand what you're doing. You're just repeating things. But actually, from a physical point of view, I would say that this situation of microgravity, it's very unusual. And while you get adapted fairly quickly, you still, I still try to behave like I am on Earth, am I used to. So I try to walk with my feet towards what we call the floor. And instead, you have to become an extraterrestrial person. You have to get rid of this gravity. And this is a challenge, as a beauty of being in space.
Thank you, Paolo. And let me just tell you, you look like a natural up there right now. And we now have a question from Caleb Cook. Caleb is here with us. He's a patient at Texas Children's Hospital, and he has a question for Two Fish.
What is the most amazing thing you've ever seen in space?
Boy, that's a great question, buddy. And I've seen so many things up here. Almost everything is really cool, from your food to the experiments. The aurora's awesome. Looking out into the stars is amazing. But I think it's more a feeling of all of those things together, and feeling like we as a team are getting to work together and make a difference on the Earth. That is the most special thing that I've experienced up here. As far as what I've seen, pretty much everything is incredible, so I can't narrow it down to just one. Well, I'm going to change that answer. This suit, coolest thing I've seen in space, period.
We'll slather some awesome sauce on that, okay? And thank you very much, Two Fish. Peggy, we have another special guest here with us today, Mia Spargo. She is the singer and songwriter of the beautiful song that you heard earlier, and she was a patient at Texas Children's Hospital as well, and she'd like to ask you a question.
So we've heard of the bottles being put out to sea with a message. Well, since you're in space, I think you are closer to God. I was wondering if you could please write down my message on a piece of paper and release it into outer space. Dear God, please help us cure cancer for all the kids on the planet.
Well, you know, I really loved your song. It was quite beautiful, and the words are very inspiring. And we don't have bottles up here, but we can launch satellites, and maybe we'll put your message in a satellite.
Thank you, Peggy, and we cannot wait to see that launching out from the airlock behind you there, or off the end of the robotic arm. That will be such a special moment, and I know Mia is very thankful. All of us here are very thankful for that. And Jack, crew, we'd like to tell you a little bit about what's going on with the ART spacesuit next. We have the Exploration ART spacesuit that's being painted in parallel with this activity today all around the world by children all around the world. We're really hoping that this project will help us facilitate more art and medicine programs around the world and pediatric cancer research to ISS. And we're very thankful to some of the angels on Earth like Elena Kuzmenko, who we already have in Moscow, making this a reality around the world. We've saved this last question for Fyodor, who spent time with us in Moscow, painting with the children at the Moscow Institute of Pediatric Oncology. Bolshaya spasiba, Fyodor, spasiba, Sergey, and cosmonaut Andrei Fedyev is here with us to ask that question.
Доброго времени суток всем космонавтам и астронавтам, которые сейчас находятся на орбите. Федор Николаевич, для меня выпала большая честь передать вам вопрос от мальчика Саши Скрипник, с которым вы рисовали в Музее космонавтики в Москве. Он спрашивает, как красиво ли вообще в космосе и какие традиции есть у космонавтов и астронавтов на станции.
Спасибо большое вопрос. Thank you very much, everybody. And first of all, I would like to say hello, Nicole. Nicole, thank you very much. You invite me in this program. I told you then hope should be in space. It's in space now. Now my answer for this question. Everybody of us, we coming to space like patriots of our countries. But only when we looking from space to Earth planet, we may see how beautiful Earth planet is. And this planet, it's our home. For what reason everybody for our expedition, look here, it's American, Italian, Russians, and International Space Station. It's really International Space Station. We are here, and here is our small home. Earth planet is our big home. And for us, very terrible, then sometimes the child has this problem. For what reason? Jack, me, everybody of us, we working with child. And for this very beautiful planet, for very beautiful child, we have some toys. Jack, maybe you show these toys and continued my answer.
You should say it in Russian. I was expecting in Russian.
And in Russian, I should repeat just a little in Russian. Спасибо большое за этот вопрос, дорогие ребята. Каждый из нас с удовольствием участвует, во-первых, в этих программах. Мы с удовольствием посещаем и с тяжким ощущением на сердце тоже посещаем различные больницы и клиники. И вместе с тем хочется сказать, что надежда — это самое главное, что есть у нас в жизни. А надежда — это наша планета Земля. Каждый из нас, прилетая сюда, является патриотом своей страны. Но глядя на эту красоту, о которой впервые сказал Юрий Алексеевич Гагарин, насколько она красивая и хрупкая, мы можем сказать, что наш дом — это наша Земля. Это самое красивое, самое прекрасное, что есть на свете. Мы посвятим себя тому, чтобы она досталась вам еще краше, еще лучше.
And we're hoping to do everything we can to preserve it for you so that it could only become more beautiful and less fragile. Once again, thank you so much for inviting us.
We are so happy that you have been part of this project. We're so happy to see the whole crew there with us sharing in this. Mia wanted to share some of her wonderful Russian language skills with you, so very quickly.
Привет, Андрей.
So cool. And wonderful. So ginormous thanks to all of you on the awesome Expedition 52 crew. We are going to close this out now. We even did this in the 20 minutes. Awesomeness. But as a special closing, I am passing over to one more special guest. Bethany would like to say a few words. Oh, where are you? Right here.
Hi, Dad. I just wanted to say thank you to all the astronauts who are doing cancer research. Y'all are making a big impact, so thank you.
Thank you, Bethany. I'm so glad you're here. Jack, go for it.
Gracious to us all.
Go for it.
All right, well, we got to prove that we're in space, so they're going to spin me. Just another big thanks to all of you for putting this together, and to all the people at the hospitals, like Dr. Lai, Dr. Wagasback, who saved my cancer ninja, and who continue to keep the fight going for all these wonderful, brave, and amazing kids. And you can see all of us are here all 6 of us are here because this is so important to all of us. And thanks again for putting this together, Nicole. Thanks to Houston for making it happen.
Thank you. We love you guys.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.